Hey guys, what's up? What's going on? Welcome back. It is actually 2 a.m. and I couldn't sleep, so I came up here and played a little bit of Rakdos Burn. This is the list I'm using so far. I end up changing a few things now and then. Sometimes I put uh, 4 theaters, sometimes I take them out. Tried using the artifact version, but there's just too much hate out there, so I'm sticking with the Fireblast version. It's not that hard to find the mountains in the deck. Um, I've been running Tyrant's Choice. It's just way too good with Fireblast because that's just an instant 8 damage to your opponent's life points. Let me see if this thing is on. Just a second. Okay. Yeah. So bear with me for a sec because I'm kind of sleepy as hell. But so what was I saying? I use Tyrant's Choice, and with Fireblast it's just really good because it's just 8 instant damage. I've seen some lists run a few less Fireblast, but I like having 4. You can always just discard one to a blood token or just Faithless Looting if you have a if you have too many in hand, I guess. Most important creature in here is the Epicure. You should always prioritize playing her turn 1. You really want to get those blood tokens out there so that you can cast these 2 spells with the Madness, Alms of the Vein and Fury Temper. Something I'm running here, it's kind of different than the other lists, are the Piranha Marsh. This basically turns all your 3 damage spells into Galvanics, so if you think about it, of course it's not the same thing, but it's, 1 extra damage on the land. I'm not running any bounce lands, although it would not be a bad idea to take one of these out and put a bounce land. The thing is that if you're generating red, you want that to be coming from a mountain. You want to have at least 2 mountains in play for Fireblast to finish off the game. 2 Faithless Looting because it's just really good. I was running 4, but sometimes I just didn't have anything to discard, so I had to either choose looting or the blood tokens. So I think 2 to 3 is a good amount. 18 lands is brutal. I like to use 20. I've been testing with 18 though. Mulligans are brutal because you sometimes don't have both colors, and sometimes you don't have enough lands. You only get 1 land or none. But it's a really fun deck to play. I'm having a lot of fun with this deck, and I'm gonna show you guys three matches that I just now played. And one of them was amazing. It was just amazing. I was like, oh my gosh, bro. This deck is so powerful because of one of the matches. Vampire's Kiss is also an important card. You want to be sure to, especially if you're under 3 mana, you want to be sure to resolve this so that you have a way to cycle out madness cards, or just, I guess, extra cards you don't need. So sideboard is pretty straightforward. We're gonna have 3 Electrickery for the go wide we need X for Searing Blaze because we want to get those creatures out of the way and deal damage. Cast Down is here mostly for, I guess, you can use Cast Down against anything really. It's just probably the best removal in Pauper at the moment. Don't see a reason why not to use 4 in the sideboard. This kills Goblin combo, big creatures, Eldrazi's, but it's here mainly for the green Marauder because if that creature comes into play, opponent's just gonna gain life like crazy. Can't do much about Weather the Storms. I don't really like Durus anyways, since it can always be responded to or fail. So I'm just trying to keep a straightforward sideboard just to do what the deck needs to do faster, which is deal damage. So I got these 8 cards that deal damage. Smash Smithereens is great against Affinity. And whatever is an artifact, I guess. So let's just go ahead and get into match 1. Just the last 3 matches here. First one I think is against Affinity. I don't really remember what the heck I was thinking, but I'll try to explain my train of thought so you guys can understand. But so it seems here that we get to play first. We take a few mulligans here. Let's go. We keep 5 only. Let me check these mulligans again because I wanna actually understand why I mulliganed. So that was our opening hand. I just mulliganed too fast, I guess. But I guess it was because we didn't have both colored mana. Let's see that again. Yeah, it's just too fast. Maybe we can check once the video is up on YouTube. But so here we're gonna mulligan again, of course, because we only have black mana and 3 Fireblast. But we keep this. Start out with always start out with a mountain if you can, because of the Epicure. You can always draw her. Bull at the end of the turn. Here I kind of misplayed since I forgot to put the swamp down for Alms of the Vein. But that's fine, because we weren't punished that much. We draw into a Vampire's Kiss, which is awesome. Affinity just playing the rocks, and unfortunately he gets an Enforcer in play. We prioritize damage with the creature since he's tapped out for Galvanic. So we just get in there for 2 with the Imp. Piranha Marsh doing its thing, doing 1 damage. Opponent plays a Gear Seeker, we come out with another Imp. We get Galvanic, I think, on one of them, but the other one goes through. I was really worried about bargain something. Sacrifice your creature and you gain life equal to the converted mana cost. Yeah, one got Galvanic, the other got Makeshift, Munitioned. We take some damage here. We fortunately draw into Fireblast and close out the game, even with those mulligans, so that was fun. Game 2 against Affinity. Let me just, show sideboard, I guess. We took out the Chain Lightnings for the smashes. And I think that's it. Since Affinity only runs 4 Galvanic Blasts, I didn't want to side out the Imp. In this first version, I guess we have Durus here. But on match 2, I ended up taking that out, I guess. I think after this match, I changed the deck a little bit to what I showed you guys in the beginning of the video, if I'm not mistaken. I removed the Elemental Blasts. But anyways, what I did here was just take out 4 Chain Lightnings for 4 Smash Smithereens. I don't like running Searing Blaze even though opponent does use Frogmite. I don't know if that's a good idea though, because he might just put the 4/4s out there and can't really do anything about those with Searing Blaze or any 3 damage burn spell. But usually against other decks, I do run, sign in Searing Blaze. Not against Affinity though. Not sure if that's right or wrong. Doesn't feel right though, so I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Let's go to game 2. Mulliganed, kept this, put Fireblast, I think, yeah, at the bottom. Opponent plays a start. We go ahead and just prioritize Epicure so she can do 2 damage. Unfortunately, I think he plays a Frogmite, but it's always good to attack with her with no blockers. I know he doesn't play. Oh yeah, he does play Frogmite. Okay. So here we draw Smash. We don't really do anything here since our land came into play tapped. Good thing about Piranha Marsh is that although it comes into play tapped, it does deal 1 damage. It causes loss of 1 life. Sorry. Opponent puts out a Mirror Enforcer. We just smash it and get in for 1 more with Epicure. It's really important to get in for at least 2 if you can with her. It's basically a shock and draw. Alright. Imp comes out in the air. Gets 2 damage in there. We're kind of stuck on 2 lands, but so is opponent. Again, Bargain is a card. It will gain life. Gain opponent life. Here, unfortunately, we drew a land. Put the Epicure out there and just hit for 2 here. Alms of the Vein gains us 3. We get Spell Pierced, unfortunately. Would have been a really important card to resolve since it does gain us time against these aggro decks. Imp gets in for 2. Opponent cycles and cycles, but it's too late because we got a Tyrant's Choice for 4 and then just another Fireblast. Finish them off. So Fireblast, it's just really good, man. That was game. That was match 1. Let's take a look at match 2 here. See what happened. I was just so amazed at this match. So in this match, our sideboard looks like this, with 4 cast downs, 3 Electrickeries, 4 Searing Blazes, and 4 smashes only. A little different than the first match, I know, but I felt like changing it after the first match because of all the mulligans, right? And I added the 4 theaters in the main deck to gain a life and fetch a land, so it helps to thin out the deck too. Thinning is not, I guess, I've always liked thinning with fetch lands and modern, and so I mean Pauper isn't different. Probabilities are the same. You're using 60 cards. Um, I have heard that thinning isn't as important as drawing cards, though. I'm not really sure how I feel about that yet. But drawing cards is always real fun, and especially if you're using a burn deck, it's just real fun to do. So let's see what happens. We're going against blue-black control here, I think. We keep this land. We see all colors, so we like this. Start off by thinning out the deck here. I should have got a mountain, but I was lucky enough to draw a bump in the night here. You always want to have 2 mountains in play, or else you'll just not draw them, as you can see here. We try to Vampire's Kiss, we get countered. Here, our lands deal some damage, and we try to get in for it with 4 for Tyrant's Choice, but we get countered again. I just feel like I want him to waste all his counters before I can cast Fireblast. Because you do not want Fireblast to get countered whatsoever. Never. You do not ever want Fireblast to get countered. We try to imp here and we get disfigured. A disfigured imp, bro. Could you imagine that? Just in the air, just disfiguring it. So here we don't really have mana to do anything except Tyrant's Choice, and I wanted to just not get countered again, so I didn't do it. So I guess I'd start farming some cards here. Since opponent's not doing anything, I don't do anything until I actually can do something. I didn't know if he was using fairies or anything, but because of the tuning rats, I imagined that he would probably not be using fairies. End of turn, Fury Tempered. Then main phase, Fury Temper. Main phase, Tyrant's Choice. I did not want to Fireblast here because I was afraid of a counter. Spell Piercer or something like that. Man, I have a headache, bro. Yeah. Cast down on my imp, and opponent conceded here. I really don't know why. I guess it's because he's at 2 and didn't have any more counters. And we had 2 cards in hand, so he probably thought, oh, okay, I'm dead. So, in game 2, everything was a lot more grindy. We actually took out the Fireblast because of all the counters, and we were afraid of, I was afraid of, Hydroblast? Blue Blast, Hydroblast. We took out the imp since opponent has a lot of removal. We saw that he had a couple of 2/2s, so we put in 4 the 3 damage spell, 4 Searing Blazes, and 4 cast downs. 4 cast downs because of Angler, and it's just a big old clock. We don't want that hitting 5 per turn, so we did that. So let's see what happens here. Let me hide this chat here. Alright, when it starts out with the Thin Island, we play a Sulfurous Mire. Kept a pretty good hand here. We let Piranha Marsh here do its thing. Although Vampire's Kiss would have probably been better, I'm not sure. So we get end of turn Hydro Blasted. Piranha Marsh dealing some damage. I guess I imagine opponent. Had counter spells, so since I had a few lands in hand, I thought I'd just not do anything and just draw a few more cards before I start casting stuff. We'll go ahead and try to resolve that, and he let that happen. Didn't do anything else here. Try to resolve another one. So we tried a third one, and then he said no. I guess, yeah, he had the lose focus there. We were able to get Faithless Looting. Threw away both cast downs since there was not that much pressure on board. Got Durist here. So I really felt like I should kill that Archomancer because of all the shenanigans and all of the flickers and stuff that he would be able to do. So we just kept that one clock in play. Yeah, kept Seagate in play since it's just a one powered creature. We drew really well this game. Kept a cast down just in case. But Faithless Looting was so much gas. I mean, it kept the deck rolling. You know what I'm saying? It kept the deck going with all the draws and stuff, and he didn't really counter Faithless Looting anyways. I mean, it's still like 20 to 13, and opponent's trying to control the match and the game, and he's doing a pretty good job so far since he's still at 13, and I have no more burn spells left. We get a kiss, recover some life. Recovering life against the one power clock is basically recovering some turns and getting extra draws. Your opponent resolves a Mole Drifter, tries to resolve a Chittering Rats, and we immediately just use whatever's in our hand so we don't lose a draw. Here we drew really well into the Alms of the Veins. Here I decide to play this just to, you know, not to throw away that one damage, just to take advantage of that one damage that the land provides us. Opponent has a better clock now, attacking for 3. We go to 20, opponent plays another Mole Drifter, draws a billion cards. Alright, we play the Looting from the Graveyard. We keep Bump. He counters Bump. We threw away the Blaze since we didn't have a land to play that turn. 10 to 15. We draw Vayne. Vayne into a land. We play the land so that we can bump in the night. Flashback bump in the night. Sometimes opponent doesn't really expect that. So that's what I thought would happen. Fortunately, it resolved. Opponent's at 4, we're at 18. We go down to 11. I throw away. Oh no, I play the Epicure. Yeah. Yeah. I should have discarded her for the blood token. Opponent gets back his land and plays it again, gains 5 life. Now watch this. We draw a land, throw it away with the blood token. We draw a Fury Temper, madness it. He counters it, but we're still gonna draw a card. We draw another Fury Temper. We Fury Temper him and draw into a Voldaren. We throw her away and we get a Chain Lightning for the win. I mean, doesn't get better than that, guys. This is Rakdos burn, baby. That was pretty lucky, I guess. And I mean, we're drawing cards with the burn deck. I mean, what you gotta know what you're drawing into, so what you could draw into. So that's why I did all of that. And that's one of the reasons I'm not using Angler. It's just it's a really good card. It's just it doesn't feel right in this deck for me. Although in the mirror matches, it's really good. Might want to put one in the sideboard, I guess. I don't know. The last match here, we go against, I think it's Naya Aggro. So aggro decks versus burn decks always have an advantage. Here I just mulligan a lot, I guess, to 2, and I just concede. But then we go to game 2, and I just run the deck back the way it is without sideboarding or anything, since we don't know who we're going against. So the sideboard is like this. Just left it as is. In this game 2, we actually kept this hand, which is really good for us. And we thinned out the deck, so there's less lands in the deck to draw anyway. Here I feel like we should kill that Wild Nakati, since it could just kill us. So we did gain some time off of that. We were able to cast some things and Alms, and I looted Fireblast since it was too early for Fireblast, and I had Vampire's Kiss there, so opponent's already at 9 and we're at 26, so we were able to just gain so much time by Chain Lightning that Wild Nakati. Opponent attacks for 3. And here, opponent takes 6. It is basically lethal next turn, so opponent concedes here. We just dealt too much damage too fast, and we were able to build up. We were able to build up a good defense with our life points. And then in game 3, since I knew it was a creature deck, I took out the imps and put the Searing Blazes. I took out the imps because I was afraid he might have bolts. Even though I'm not even sure I saw red. I don't know. They usually... I saw the aura that enchants land, so I was afraid he might have bolts for the imp. he did have a he did play the Hawk, Squadron Hawk, so he would have been able to block her pretty well, block the Imp pretty well. I wasn't sure about cast down, so I guess my train of thought here was just to deal as much damage as fast as possible. So I just kept all the cards that could guarantee damage better than the Imp. And I just put Searing Blaze basically. So here we keep this really good hand with 2 reds and a Searing Blaze. I play a Mire and I wait for opponent to play a creature so we can blaze it. He didn't play a creature, so we just chain lightning here and do not play our land. Because Searing Blaze is just too good to throw away like that. Landfall deals 3 damage, so Jewel Thief comes into play, we Searing Blaze it, but unfortunately opponent had a Snakeskin Veil, now he's got a 4/4. Alright, so 14 to 16, we filter our deck, play a Kiss, get some life back. Having Vampire's Kiss and Alms of the Vein is just so good. Because you gain life, you deal damage, and you draw a card with the blood tokens. It's just too good. So now opponent's at 9, we're at 18. So here I played Free Temper on opponent's turn because I was afraid he was going to weather the storms at the end of mine. So I didn't really do anything more than just Alms and land. And on his turn I played the Temper because if he was going to cast Weather the Storms, he would have to do it during his turn and just use his mana for that. So opponent's down to 6. We're at 11. And he did have red, as you guys can see. He plays a 4/4. And we, like, it's just too late because we just have so much stuff. Turn 6. So those were the games I wanted to share with you guys. The matches I wanted to share with you guys. This is the deck so far. Please let me know what you think. This deck is really fun to play. I'll put the list in the description below the way it is here. And I just felt like making this video. It's been a long time since I posted anything, so I hope you guys like this. And I made a Twitter now, so I don't know if I said that, but if I already said that, but I made a Twitter and trying to learn how to use it, so I might be posting something on there regarding this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys later, maybe in the next video or on Twitch, okay? Bye.